ladies and gentlemen, to another on-time, released in July like promised, episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate in time travel Final Fantasy podcasts. I am your host, Caleb Schweiss.
I'm your host, Joseph Joliet, living in a August 1st kind of a world.
Yeah, it does feel like I'm feeling August 2nd, honestly, to be completely honest.
I'm going to start feeling August 2nd in about 35 minutes.
Yeah. So we did finish For Heroes of Light. Guys, I'm sorry. I wanted to have this done and reviewed about 12 hours ago, but I just wasn't able to finish it until about 2 hours ago when I finally made a few tinkers to my team and became unstoppable. I was pretty much destroying the game until I got to a couple key fights near the end, and then the game became much, much more brutal, and I had to really rework some things.
The game became this game?
Yeah, the game became what this game is, which is hellishly hard. This is not for children, okay? I don't care what anybody fucking says. These games are not for children. These games are for seasoned warriors.
These games are rated M?
Yes. And it's not for any content other than supreme difficulty. At least with this one. I mean, the last game we played was pretty easy, so.
Yeah, man, we really fucked up our release here. I mean, we didn't skip a week, but I think we ended up in the downloads skipping a week.
We did. If we would have put this out on the last day of July like I wanted to, we would have had one a week, even though it was like sporadically released, which is how it's going to be, but we didn't.
Fuck. Damn it.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could just put it in Libsyn that the timestamp was July 29th.
Maybe.
Just lie.
The other option is to do another episode.
We went 5 years without fucking up, and we didn't fuck up. Well, I guess I fucked up by leaving my equipment over at your house and waiting for you to fucking mail the thing back to me.
Yeah, fucking piece by piece. I was listening to a lot of Slayer's Rain and Blood, that piece by piece song. I was just like, all right, Joe, here you go. Here's the Zoom. And then you're like,
not to mention, I never got the box.
Oh no, the box. So. I think I threw the box away, actually.
What the fuck?
I was.
We didn't talk about this last time because we had a guest on the show.
I was thinking like, oh, dude, I should just like flatten the box and mail the box to Joe. Like, just fucking. At first, I sent him the Zoom, and he's like, "Hey, I got the Zoom. Where's this? What was it missing the first time? Oh, it was the. Fuck! What did I send? Oh, I sent the Zoom, and then I didn't send the.
There was no memory card.
Yeah, it was like the memory card.
No, there was no memory card reader.
Oh, that's right. So it was the Zoom, a memory card reader, and the memory card, and a puffball that Joe had in a box. So he's like, "Hey, mail this shit to me," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I do what I always do, where like. I either like look at the list and then like just mentally cross out like half of the list, and I'm like, yeah, he only really needs this. Or I do what I did yesterday, where Alex wrote down like personal Coke in cursive, and like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get her a regular Coke. She's like, I just want a 20 ouncer, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get a 20 ounce Diet Coke. I'm gonna get a liter. So I just went and got that first, and then I went to the store, and then I looked at the list again, and I read it as personal cake. So I come back with like a little fucking red velvet cake. She's like, "What's the cake for?" And I'm like, "It says personal cake." Oh wait, shit, it's personal Coke. I was looking at it, and I was like, "Why the fuck does she want a cake?" And I'm over in the cake section, and I'm like, "Shit, like." What kind of cake should I get? Like, all the nice cakes are huge and like $30+ Those aren't personal cakes. Like, I could get the little, like, slice of cheesecake, but that's, like, a little too intimately personal. So I went with a fucking red velvet cake. So yeah, that's what I do with lists. I either, like, don't send it all, or I fucking add to with things that almost look the same, but aren't. Also, I feel like I can only read my name in cursive now. Like, it's been so long since I've used it that Coke looks like cake. But in her case, I did bring the fucking Coke. And in your case, I did not send the fucking card reader. So then I sent the Zoom by itself. Joe's like, hey, where's the card reader? I can't actually upload my fucking audio without the card reader. And make sure you send the puffball. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I send the card reader, and then I'm like putting it in the bag, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot the puffball. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm at work, like, it's too late. I'm just gonna mail it like this. And then I ordered a separate set of puffballs for Joe. Did you get those, by the way? I never actually asked.
I did. In fact, they are.
Okay.
They're padding my Zoom because I have no container for my Zoom, so now my Zoom belongs in a Ziploc bag with a bunch of puffballs. So that's now the thing that I contain my recording equipment in.
Oh, there you go.
Really could have used some Ziplocs from you, but got those myself. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You don't want me to send them.
Yeah. Zoom, shipment number 1. Card reader, shipment number 2. The fucking puffballs ordered specially never got the fucking box.
No.
That everything was in.
Yeah.
Or at least right next to.
It was right next to it. Because I was like, I was worried. I was like, oh, dude, I think I threw that box away. And then I went home.
What tunnel vision do you have?
Dude, it's the worst. The thing is like, I'll when I go to work, I'll fucking pack my lunch, and then I'll like, oh, I gotta grab my headphones. And then I'll grab my headphones so I don't have a dull day at work, and then I'll forget the lunch. And I'm like, fuck. Man, it's like this. It's like one thing wins out, and then everything else just has to suffer. Just fucking, it's not gonna happen. Like, I'm never gonna have headphones, fully charged phone, and a packed lunch. It's always gonna be one of those elements missing, and I'm gonna be really pissed off and be like, why the fuck do I do this? Why do I leave with 9 minutes to get there when it's an 8-minute trip and always forget one of my important items for the day? Like, it's always the same: lunch, headphones, phone. That's it. Fucking God.
I've got a solution for you. You get a lunchbox, and you put your fucking headphones in the lunchbox.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if I'm fucking somewhere and, like, if I forget my keys, I'm fucked kind of a situation, I put my keys or my phone charger, I put them in my shoes. Because, like, the thing I'm not going to forget, if they're together, I'll take them both at the same time.
That's a good point. That's what I did with my door badge. It's in my wallet, and I like don't go anywhere without my wallet, pretty much. So I guess that's the same idea. I just need to put my lunch in my wallet somehow. Like, just fucking grab those hot dogs and just mash those fuckers into my bifold wallet, and just like, fuck it. I'll just look loaded and smell like hot dog water all day, but I'll have my goddamn lunch and eat it too. But yeah, that was a really funny story. I was like, oh man, when I was mailing up the second part, I was like, Joe's probably so pissed, and like I was like, oh man, and when the puffballs get there, he's gonna be like, fuck, it's so ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. You got fucking pissed. Okay, first take your microphone and like put it back like 6 inches or so. By the way, just for me.
Okay,
so you're getting real distorted. Thing was, Schweiss, before you were sending that thing, I was like, okay, I have to remind him every fucking day to send this thing or else he isn't going to send it. And every time I do that to you, it's like you think, I do the same thing with Craig, because Craig's the same way. You motherfuckers just forget things. Constantly. But you guys also get super fucking defensive when I remind you. Like, I'll get it. God damn it. I'll fucking get it, man. I'll get it, bro. I'll get it. Lay off me.
Yeah, leave me alone, Dad.
Leave me alone. I'll get it tonight. I told you I'd get it tonight. You know, the next day it'll be like, oh, I'm sending that tonight.
Well, in my defense,
That was in the texting conversation too. It was like me reminding you, you getting pissed off about me reminding you, and then I'm like, hey, did you send it? And you're like, nope.
You made me this way. No, what it was is like I forgot to send it on Friday, and then you're like, oh, just send it tomorrow. And then I was like, well, I can't. Like, there's no reason to send it tomorrow on Saturday or Sunday because the mail doesn't go out until Monday night. And so I didn't mail it until Monday night because of that. And so, like, I probably should have mailed it on Friday. The first time you were like, hey, I forgot my shit. You should send it. Because then it would have gotten
Send
there.
it right now, I believe was the message. It was like, fucking send it right now because we're going to get fucked.
Yeah, because we just couldn't record. Like, we couldn't pull the data. That's what it was. It wasn't that we couldn't record. It's that we had...
we recorded because you sent the Zoom.
Yeah. And then I didn't have it, so, like, I couldn't pull it off. Because really it was, just send me the Zoom. I forgot it. And I was like, God damn it, Joe, why would you forget it there? And then I was like, no... It'll only take a couple days. It's like a fucking week later. And we can't record because with these things, when we're raw dogging these fucking Zooms, they just peak like motherfuckers without the puff ball. Like, it's a nightmare without the puff. Like, if you think it sounds weird occasionally when we do it now, you have no fucking idea, man. Like, this thing just, like, peaks, like, every other second when you don't have this puff condom on it. So, like, we couldn't record then either until the puffs got there 2 days later. And it's like, I ordered a fucking backpack and a fucking toy car for my friend's nephew's birthday, and they got here fucking, like, 12 hours later. And I'm like, what, you can't get some fucking puff balls there in 2.5 days? Like, really? Fuck. But yeah, that was totally my bad. Not that I need to tell you that, but, you know.
My favorite thing about the episode that we recorded and then took a week to fucking put out was that we talked about never missing a week on that episode.
Yeah.
On that fucking episode. We're like, man, we've never missed an episode.
I mean, it was true up to that point.
Fuck me, right?
Things change, you know.
And then, like, went a week by, like, without recording gigs. Like, there's no fucking point in recording. I can't put anything down on the computer. Jesus. All right, we should probably talk about the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about our plan, because I don't actually know what our plan is. Because you were talking yesterday about trying to get a couple days off a week, like a set schedule for a little while. And I feel like that was because you wanted to play Explorers on those days. Or you said, like, we would play it, like, tonight where we're both done with work at, like, the wee hours of the morning and stuff like that. So, like, what exactly are we going to be doing with the next game? Like,
well, I asked my boss, my illiterate fucking boss, so I'm not sure if she understood it. I asked my boss for 2 days off a week and I just basically asked to work or to be available to work 5 days, preferably just work 4 days, and then have 2 days off a week, preferably Thursday and Friday. So that way she still got me on weekend days, Saturday and Sunday, so it was a good deal for her, regardless. And then I would get 1 weekday, 1 weekend day. And that was just my preferred schedule. That's what I asked for. I asked for that for 2 reasons. One is just stress level and dealing with that stupid fucking job. We're understaffed now, so I'm working a lot of hours. And just being like, just putting my foot down and saying, hey, this isn't my only gig. I mean, it's my only hourly job, but it's not my only gig, so I really need days off. Sorry.
right.
And then also having some kind of regularity so that I could do this podcast and Explorers, especially for like a month, and then Godzilla podcast as well, which I haven't been able to record. It's just been too chaotic, and haven't had the energy to do that. I've also been working on the movie like fucking crazy for a month. So
yeah, the tough thing for us is both of our schedules are sporadic. So that's what makes it such a nightmare to record this podcast. So, I mean, I imagine with Godzilla having being able to pin it down would make that one a lot easier too. But I mean, if we want to play these multiplayer games together, we're gonna have to have someone's gonna have to budge somewhere, or we're just gonna have to play it when we get lucky, which isn't gonna be good enough when it's a 30, 40 hour campaign in a Final Fantasy 14. You know, like
I know.
It's gonna have to be like FF11 and the like hell grind days where it's like, just meet me at this boss fight. And we're just like Japanese midnight spamming the hell out of the game to like just burn through months of story
Midnight.
and days. You know?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we do start talking because like now my sleep schedule has gotten back to like fucking late at night, which is where yours often is.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be that way.
I feel
from
like
now on,
we might be able to pull in like an hour a night or every other night or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we might just have to push the game further down and like pull the books up closer, and just try to play at least once a week for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Just try to, yeah.
Schedule
it like we schedule our UFF episodes. We're like, what are you doing? Okay, what's your schedule this week? What's this?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we'll see how Explorers is. I mean, I don't know how much like side grinding we can do, because if that's an option,
there's a lot of quests. I'm stuck though, so I'm waiting. I could use another beat stick.
Oh, I see how it is. You're like, oh, I just feel, you're on Twitter, you're like, you know, I was going to burn through these games, but I just feel bad about not playing a multiplayer one with Schweiss. And it's like, suddenly you're like, oh, I'm stuck. I need you to fucking save me. I'm a healer, man. I'm a fucking white mage.
Grind for forever or have a better team, and I'm like, better team sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. And there are communities. There's a subreddit out there. I looked it up the other day because I was just like, I want to make this game, you know, a good experience for explorers. And there is a subreddit where people do get on and they like party up and stuff. So that might be something to look into, kind of similar to what I did with the community that Crenitol introduced us to for Comrades, or else that would have been fuck, dude, that would have been so much worse without some of those OP bastards just blowing through the levels for us. So that's something that we should look at too. But I don't know. We'll have to talk about it more when we get into the game, because I mean, I don't know how much like side stuff there is, like prepping for quests or doing battles. Like I don't know what to expect, honestly. It's Monster Hunter, which I have. It's a Monster Hunter clone, which I have very little experience with in the first place, let alone Square Enix's, you know, rip-off flavor of that. But
that's right.
We'll try to make time for it, and we've got plenty of other stuff to do. We've still got the anime, we've got the books. So we'll get you guys some stuff now that all of Joe's equipment, except for the box for his Zoom, has been delivered. We are now ready.
It's okay. Go ahead, keep the box. I love my Ziploc bag. It's real protective and great.
It's so much sturdier than that box. Believe me. I when I crushed it, it just gave, you know. But that Ziploc bag, that's permanent.
You'll have to send it with the Switch for the Mana games.
Yeah. That was a fun. That was a fun thing when I brought that up.
Yeah.
Give you some like behind the scenes Nude Clan shit. Craig was like, well, you can send yours to Joe when you're done with your game, and I'm like, that's not happening, because the Switches are, you know, we bought them as like the company, and he was like, oh, I understood it as the Switches were our payment for, you know, for doing the shows. And I'm like, I don't know where you'd get that idea from. I guess. I was like, we literally never said that. All I ever said was jokingly, like, I mean, we all kind of have our own Switch, because we, the three Nude Clan hosts, do have a Switch that we keep at our place and use. But that doesn't mean that they're fucking ours. It was a joke. It was it twisted into like, oh, this is my payment. And I was like, one of you send in a Switch when we get to Mana. And he's like, those aren't even Final Fantasies. And I'm like, well, it's our fucking podcast, Craig, and it's our network, so it's going to fucking go. Either you or Cameron is going to send a Switch to California for a few months, and that's how it's going to be. He was like, well, what if we have a Switch game? I was like, then you can take mine. Whoever the fuck is playing it, we'll still have 2 of them, so we're good. Yeah, that was fun. Craig getting all unreasonable. And it was all through text, too, so I couldn't, like, throttle his neck as I was screaming at him into the keyboard.
Look, man, I don't want to keep the Switch. I just want to use it for the games I have to use it on.
I know, that's the thing. It's like, he's not going to keep it. Like, he would use it even less than I do. Mine was under my fucking router for, like, 6 months. It was propping it up. I, like, looked over and I was like, is that the Switch? Move it out of the way. It's got, like, a fucking inch of dust. I'm like, oh, yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right, so let's actually get into this game because we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
And there's going to be someone who like looked up our podcast and is like, "Geez, they won't stop."
Yeah, it's going to be.
They're talking about the podcast. They're not even doing the podcast.
Exactly. It's going to be another 3-star review where it's like, it took them 40 minutes to get into the 4 Heroes of Light episode. Jesus Christ.
Also, homophobic.
Yeah.
All right.
Religiphobic
so,
as well. So the saying his name.
You got any background info on this game, Schweiss?
Yeah. So. Yeah. So let's go. Let's just do development on the game. There's a couple nuggets in there. So Final Fantasy The 4 Heroes of Light, which is also known as Final Fantasy Gaiden in Japan, is a role-playing game developed by Matrix Software and published, god damn it, by Square Enix on October 29th, 2009 in Japan and October 5th, 2010 in the States. That is a big gap for that long into the series. You also may remember Matrix Software from their iOS ports of Final Fantasy 2, 4, 5, 6 after years, and they even did Dragon Quest V. This is the second Final Fantasy game to wield the Gaiden, or I guess it just kind of means spin-off in Japan. The other being the aforereviewed Final Fantasy Adventure, which was Final Fantasy... It was something Gaiden. It was the mana thing. And that just means spin-off, I guess, which is weird. It seems like an odd name for that. I don't know. It reminds me of something else. I guess it reminds me of Raiden. I just see like a dude with the rice hat, from Mortal Kombat. So the game's directors were Takashi Tokita and Hiroaki Yabuta. And Tokita, you might remember as the director of Chrono Trigger and Parasite Eve. And he also worked as lead designer for Final Fantasy IV. Producer was Tomoya Asano, and the lead artist was Akihiko Yoshida, who worked on the background art and main character designs for most of the Ivalice games, like FF12, Vagrant Story, stuff like that. And Mizuta worked on Final Fantasy XI with Uematsu, and that god-awful Parasite Eve 2. So the development team, I don't remember the music being terrible for that game, but I honestly don't remember it at all, so to be fair. The development team had begun to consider a sequel to this game, and that's why we're going to play Bravely Default, which is what that sequel idea sort of eventually became. The entire game was meant to be a throwback to the original titles in the Final Fantasy series, and you can definitely tell. The game featured an interesting storybook-style art design, which kind of reminded me of Chocobo Tales. It didn't really use it as much. Yeah. In this game, but I kind of like that. It's kind of a fun little design for DS, and it also features a pretty bitchin' version of the job system from Final Fantasy 3 and 5. The development team also looked, obviously they looked to those classic Final Fantasy games for some influence, but they looked to some Dragon Quest games and just a bunch of other popular NES-era RPGs to inspire this game. So it's kind of like the ultimate throwback, which is sort of how I've kind of described it to other people. Like this is kind of FF9 for 1, 2, and 3 is what I would say.
Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely a throwback title, and I think it does a really good job in doing that. We'll certainly talk about each of the elements as we go forward. I do have to apologize to the listeners. I don't remember the soundtrack like at all. So, and I don't think I had listened to it that much either because it was on my DS, and I was just kind of playing the DS and was on a PSN chat.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only section of the game that I'm not going to be able to recall very well, or the story. But we'll get into the. I mean, it has been like, what has it been, like a month and a half since I beat it?
Yeah. You started hitting it pretty hard, though. Like, the night that I finished Dissidia, you were like, oh, I'm 1/3 of the way through 4 Heroes of Light. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I was not 1/3 of the way through my amount of hours that I was going to put into 4 Heroes of Light.
Yeah.
I was 1/3 of the way through the guide, which, of course, the easiest 1/3 of the game, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it still took me a month to beat it, which, you know, back in the olden days, back in the 2015 era of the show, that would have been pretty normal for this size of a game.
Yeah. This is a sizable game. It's 30 plus hours, which is kind of our 1 month mark.
Yeah.
That we've sort of set.
That's the development history. A lot of familiar names, I guess, worked on this game. Did it sell that well at all? Did you read anything about that?
I mean, it debuted well, but it didn't really sell all that many copies. I know that the spinoff title, Bravely Default, outsold it by a lot. So by the end of November 2009, it had sold 178,510 copies.
Oh, wow.
So that's like
Chocobo Tales area.
Yeah, this is when the series was kind of not doing super, super well. I mean, late 2009, early 2010, we had 13. We had a ton of, like, spin-offs right before this. Like, it seemed like they were pumping out...
It's too much of FF.
Yeah, there was kind of too much.
FF overload.
Yeah. And it also had other FF games that it was kind of, like, competing with, too, I feel like, with the theater rhythm and things like that. So I just think there's just a lot of games during this time, which is funny because since we released the podcast, there really haven't been that many games added compared to, like, the 2000s.
No, just Explorers, World, and 15.
Yeah, from 2000 to 2010, that's like half our fucking show right there, dude. It's fucking nuts. You know, so I feel like that's the biggest reason why. But funnily enough, yeah, the spinoff that they decided to not name Final Fantasy, that's a sequel, totally outsold it by like a lot. Because that one sold over 1 million copies, that Bravely Default. Wow. That's a big game. But this one, yeah, real light. I mean, it was strong on debut. It's no fucking Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, like debuting 6th fucking week it came out. You know, but it had a quick fall off, and I just think it's kind of oversaturation at the time. And a lot
oversaturation of the Final Fantasy brand, and a lot of people weren't looking at 13 that well. I think 13 was like the first Final Fantasy that had a serious backlash almost immediately.
Yeah.
Obviously 14 would outdo it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, initially, you know, you got to know your 14 history for you younger listeners out there.
Yeah, that's right. Read a book.
Yeah, read a Wikipedia page. God damn it.
You youngsters. Yeah.
No, bad time in the history of Final Fantasy, at least for the fans. I do think the brand has recovered quite a bit. I do think a lot of that recovery has to do with 14 being improved massively just a couple years after the initial release. And then 15 has also been like a pretty big hit. So it's kind of, I think the brand has recovered pretty well. It's recovering further with the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff. as far as like popular opinion about the Final Fantasy series. So that's kind of good. We started the show when Final Fantasy was in a doldrum. So
Yeah.
and this game is definitely part of that. They're releasing way too many of these fucking games right now.
Yeah,
in a phase.
and it's funny because some of the ones that they've come out with in their downturn are like really good, but like it just doesn't matter because they had a bunch of them in there that were not really good. So it just kind of shit on everything they did for a while. But I agree.
Only 100,000 copies sold. I remember the Game Informer review of this game, and I was like, "Oh, that's just one of those little Final Fantasies no one gives a shit about." I remember like having that thought in my head when I read the Game Informer review of this game.
Yeah.
Just kind of came and went.
Yeah, and I don't know if I agree with that. We're gonna get further into that obviously as we review the game, but I feel like this one was one of those products of its time, sort of things like Boondock Saints, you know? Like, it has terrible reviews on release, but now it's like this cult classic that everybody loves. I'm not saying this game's better than Boondock Saints, but it's probably better
I watched Boondock Saints like 6 months ago, and I gotta say, not as good on a second watch.
Oh,
not
really? Oh, that's too bad. I could see that, though.
Unfortunately.
I could see that.
Yeah. Okay. We want to get into gameplay or story, right?
Yeah. Let's...
Jeez, it hasn't been that long. What the fuck's wrong with me?
I mean...
We've been doing this for...
It has been a minute, but yeah, we've been doing this for 5 years, so... we should know what's going on.
What comes next?
So, story and plot. So the game starts out in the city of Horn, or as I like to call it, Horny, with our main hero who totally, I forgot he was the main guy, and like halfway through the game I was like, who the fuck is the first guy we have? Brant. So Brant is presenting himself to the king in some weird ceremony to enter manhood, and he finds the king distraught and discovers that the princess heir has been taken by the witch of the north, named Luhi. So along the way to go kind of rescue the princess, Brant meets up with his moody friend Jasqua and the princess's personal bodyguard and my beatstick monster character Unita. And together they journey to the witch's house and eventually slay Luhi. So when we trudge back to Horn, we find that the entire town has been turned to stone by some kind of curse, and the king is missing. And this is when our little fellowship breaks for the time being, and it is not the four heroes of light for a fucking long time in the game. It's like the two heroes of light and the guest party member. So Brant and Unita sort of stay behind, and they try to figure out what's going on with Horn's villagers, while Jasqua and Air flee to Liberté, a seafaring town. So Brant and Unita meet a fellow named Cringe in a nearby desert who leads them to the magic kingdom of Guerra.
Krinj, right?
I think it's Krinj or JH, but yeah, he's just like super cringe, bro. That's so
man, the
cringe.
spelling of that name. Cringe.
Yeah. It is a cringy spelling of cringe.
God damn it.
So we meet up with Cringe, who brings us to the magic kingdom of Guerra. And the king of Guerra asks us to deal with the fucking Sandman, since Spider-Man is apparently a little busy. And we agree. But of course, you know, he fucking levels you when you fight him because you need water spells that the leader orders a fucking freeze on spells. So like you go into the town and they're like, oh, sorry, I can't sell you any water spells. And I'm like, wow, that's oddly specific. And then I leave and I fight the Sandman, and they're like, break out your water spells, everyone. We're gonna fuck this guy up. And I'm like, I don't have any water spells. And then we just get dropped. So I had to buy items to fucking kill him. And of course you have the game's like, well, what's it gonna be? Gems or the next boss. Like, you decide. You got to sell all your shit. But in the end, the Sandman is destroyed and is revealed to be Ariadne, who Cringe runs away with. Apparently they know each other. So Air meets up with a fairy named Lilibel and gets turned into a cat. And she ends up leaving Jasqua's grumpy ass behind and finds Brant, who also left Unita behind because he didn't want to continue with her. I don't know why, because she's like the ultimate character in my game. And they head to Arbor Forest, where I guess the Queen of Arbor doesn't like humans, for something we're going to talk about in a bit, and turns Brant into a fucking plant. I think it's she watched Fern Gully 1 and, dare I say, Fern Gully 2, and is like, nah, these humans are bad news. So Air teams up with a mouse named Tort to find an animal staff in order to turn Brant into a dog, which makes him more trustworthy. But before we get this taken care of, we have to we turn him into a dog, and then we have to defeat Arborok, which is supposed to be the guardian of the Arbor. We take him out, and the Queen of Arbor thanks us, and she turns the animal staff into a transformation staff, which allows us to go transspecial with a mere 3 menu clicks at any given time in the game, which unlocks hidden areas.
Just to get into little doorways and shit.
Yeah, anytime there's like a tiny hole, you're like, oh yeah, it's time to go dog mode.
Meow.
Yeah, and so this is also where we first learn of Roland, who searches for the Dark Tower. Not really, though. He's a dude from Spelvia who may know how to help Horny. So the two animals, Air and Brant, climb the great tree of the Arbor, and they leap to the super FF tropey floating island of Spelvia. But Air is the only one who makes it across. So Brant falls from the sky. And then we cut back to Jasqua, who finds a regular cat who he oddly mistakes for Air, and he travels to a city called Urbeth because for some reason he heard that there might be somebody to help him out there. And he finds Unita and meets up with her and a sorcerer who claims to be able to lift the curse from Air. So we earn a bunch of dough from completing some weird little quests for the locals, or if you have enough, you can just do it, but it's like a lot. You can like sell some rings for a dude. You go kill monsters off that are kind of fucking people over. And then there's also a little mini game where you open up a shop, and if you sell items in a certain way, you actually unlock a new class, so a new crown to build. I wasn't able to do that, but so there's some extra shit in the town. So once we finally earn enough dough, we find out that the dirty sorcerer was nothing more than a con artist, and he takes off to the 6 teraflop city of Invidia. Jasqua leaves warrior princess Unita behind and pursues the sorcerer on a boat. And he's soon reunited with Brant and learns that Air was with him the whole time, and he was trying to transform a fucking regular cat back into a person. So even if the sorcerer wasn't a phony, a big fat phony, it's just a fucking cat. So they arrive in Invidia, they meet up with another person who's named Rekote, and she helps you get the dragon harp, which is a pretty sweet item that allows you to summon a dragon to fly around the world. And you are trying to fly to Spelvia because you guys couldn't make the jump, and that's the best way to get there. So Unita, of course, since she was abandoned, had to fucking climb the tower to the sky to reach this town, and we all kind of meet up there as we go. By the way, I remember someone saying they gave me the rainbow boots and that I needed the rainbow boots to climb the fucking the rainbow.
Do you remember someone telling you get the rainbow boots as soon as you see them?
Yeah.
Do you remember a text from someone saying, hey, make sure you get those goddamn rainbow boots right at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, I climbed the entire thing, and then I was like, oh. And I didn't have a dragon wing item, which transports you back to town, so I had to walk all the way back down.
I did the exact fucking same thing.
I was so mad. Because I swear
and
to
that's
God,
why I texted you and said, buy the rainbow boots. Because it's in like the first store in the first part of the game.
Yeah, well, you can earn them.
It's there, and it's never there again. Yeah, you can earn them, but it takes forever. And I was like, fuck that. I wish I had just grabbed those fucking rainbow boots.
Yeah. I mean, to earn them, all you had to do was, like, travel to a cave in the south and then wait for nightfall and then steal mithril from the mithril adamantoise guys.
Yeah, tortoise things.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, dude, when I got up there, because I swear to God, I remember the game being like, and like you obtained rainbow boots. And then I like waltz my ass up there and I'm like, let's throw those rainbow boots on. And I look at my inventory and I'm like, oh no. Fucking had to walk all the way back down that tower. I have that thing memorized. I have like most of this game memorized at this point, to be honest. It's just fucking going back.
I got lost in the tree place.
Oh yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
So many times.
Fuck, dude. There's a lot of maze areas in this game. So once we get up there, we meet up with everybody. Then we visit Roland, who also dislikes humans and has locked himself away in solitude. Then we get a really awesome sequence where Unita and Air travel into Roland's unconscious mind with the help of the Witch of the Sky to destroy the monsters controlling him. But in doing so, this causes Roland to unleash the darkness that was locked away inside of him and warp the very fabric of reality. And like fuck up time and space and all of that stuff. And this really reminded me of Arden from Final Fantasy 15, because he's the guy who goes around and he kind of like helped pull the corruption from these people. And then after a while, he had so much corruption in him that he became, the one that unleashed the corruptness on the world. It reminds me of Arden, and it also reminds me of the Diablo canon with the warrior character becoming Diablo. Like he takes the Diablo stone to try to suppress it, and then he ends up giving into it, and then we get the awesomeness that is Diablo 2. It was really reminiscent of that, but I was like, oh wow, that's really similar to the Arden storyline. Not as much backstory.
That's a good observation. I think it was at this point in the game, I'd lost track of the plot of this game. We'll get into our overall thoughts in a minute because he's still got a little bit.
Yeah.
I lost track of the overall plot of this game pretty early on.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I guess I'm in some dude's mind right now. And then, like, the world went to shit. And I was like, okay, I guess the world's gone to shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's this new generation.
Let's go put some animal symbols on the map. Okay. Like, all right. Let's go for it. I remember in the Roland part, his name's Roland, right?
Yeah, it's Roland.
That up. Okay, Roland. You got to do it twice. There's the first time you have to like catch these motherfucking ghost things in order to open up like a section of his mind, I guess. You got to do it 3 times. And it's this ridiculous thing where you have to like touch the ghost figure in the darkness, and then the ghost figure will like quickly shoot to another spot, and you got to get to that spot really quick or else the whole thing resets. So you just have to like zigzag around this fucking room with the ghost and keep on touching it. I had to do one of those rooms like a gazillion times. It was
really?
ridiculous. Yeah. One of them, like 2 of the rooms were like nothing for me, and then one of them was just like I could not fucking catch this piece of shit Casper motherfucker. I just couldn't do it. Fuck. So I remember that part more than like the boss fight or anything. I just remember fucking going over and over again on these fucking Casper the Ghost, running around playing tag bullshit.
Yeah, I think the one that took me the longest was like maybe 4 or 5 times.
I want to say I did it like a dozen times.
Yeah,
it's something ridiculous.
That's too much for this. It's like, yeah, it's kind of dumb though, because if you fuck up at all, like you're not going to get there in time, and you have to restart.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you help him out, and you unleash everything, like I said. And then now we're kind of in the past, is what the game has set it up as. So we move on to each of the kingdoms, and I don't think you have to do these in any specific order, but I'm going to do them in the order that the guide had them in, because that's how I played the game. I tried to use the guide as like a, hey, this is where I go next sort of a thing. So I wouldn't look at it for the dungeons unless I had figured out how to get through the dungeon already, except the final dungeon, because I was like, fuck it, dude, I have to beat this game to review this goddamn game. So that's how I'm going to do the next order of things. So we go to Gera in the past, where Cringe is a servant of their past king, who reveals himself to be Asmodeus, or as Joe and I love to call him, Ass Demon, who is the demon of lust, and he lusts after your juicy ass cheeks, to be sure. This guy fucks, man. That was what I said to Joe. I was like, this guy fucks. Like, I had trouble with the next one, whose name shall not be mentioned quite yet. But this guy, this Asmodean dude, I was fucking stuck, man. And he's like a...
Is he the snake guy? Which guy
yes,
is he?
He's the snake guy.
Yeah.
Like, the guy with, like, he was flashing us the whole time. He's got, like, his, like, robe on, and he, like, whips it up around his fucking big old ball sack. He's just showing everything. Yeah, the snake guy, dude. He I got into the fight the first time, and he, like, insta-fucked me. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I haven't had a fucking like this since Sandman, when I didn't have any fucking water items to turn that fucker into a sandcastle. Like, it was bad, and it was bad over and fucking over and fucking over again.
I had to do that guy a few times. I think I'm stuck on that guy for like a night. I do remember like just being like, okay, this time I got him down to 3 snake heads. Like,
yeah,
before I was fucking fucked. But for me, I think I upgraded some equipment, and then I got I got the right spells, and then I had I started using the Black Mage a lot because I wasn't using the Black Mage before. And with Black Mage, you can kind of fuck him over.
Yeah, you can do some good magic damage.
Yeah, it's like Black Mage with his like, what's the fucking? It's like the booster spell, Focus or something like that.
Yeah.
With that, you can do like a really good amount of damage with Blizzaga, like right at the beginning of the fight, and then you kind of like move forward and just kind of like figure out his pattern. But that guy, yeah, he's brutal.
Yeah, dude,
he's fucking brutal.
He fucked me up. It was like I feel he was the one I got stuck on the most. But the nice thing about him is there's not 10 minutes of trekking through the universe to get to his ass. So I feel like I spent more time on the final boss, but only because, 1, he's 3 phases, and 2, I've got to fucking walk for like, I've got to do my own version of the Trail of Tears to fucking show up at his doorstep. And this guy, you didn't. You just save right in front of his ass, and then you get ass demoned. But yeah, when you just suddenly get lucky and he doesn't decide to insta-fuck you, because there's a shitload of RNG in this game, by the way.
That's true.
I just whooped his ass. Like, when I went and I won, I fucked him hard. Like, he looked at me and said, this guy fucks, instead of the other way around. And once you defeat him, you get rewarded with the Shield of Light, which I actually didn't take, which led to me being lost for like 3 hours last night, because I got to the later part in the game where you're supposed to be in the past and like no one's turned to stone, and they were all turned to stone. And I was just searching the internet, just deep diving into this game that no one's fucking played, and I was like, where?
It's true.
Where do I fucking go? And then I had to suffer through this caricature of a cartoon guy on YouTube who was playing it, and like the
caricature of a cartoon.
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
like double.
Yeah, double cartoon. He just looks normal.
Double cartoon.
Since he's already...
Hey guys, today we're playing 4 Heroes of Light.
Yeah, it was...
okay.
It was Final Fantasy, the 4 Heroes of Light. And I was like, oh, no. And I was just digging through his videos, so I heard that intro like 20 times, man. And I was like, what is wrong with this person? What is wrong with this person? And then eventually...
You should be grateful. You fucking followed this motherfucker.
I just found it because, like, someone said, oh, you need to get all the items. And I'm like, oh, do I have all the items? And I was like, oh, no, I don't have all the items. I'm missing the one in the fucking, luckily, the sand area, which is, like, the thing that I will die having memorized, the fucking sand castle. And so I walked my ass up there, got my item from Cringe, and then I went and beat the fucking game. But, yeah. you're supposed to grab it. And he eventually becomes king in this timeline and makes peace with the nearby nations. So, really cool, great time. We then move on to Liberté, and we find out that an artist is looking to create the most beautiful piece of art ever. And he wants to incorporate Lilibel, that little Tinkerbell-like character that we mentioned before. So a bunch of pirates steal his work, and we find out that they were being possessed. Once we free him, we awaken Cetus, who is an ancient whale, and honestly, I thought it was just a boat, but I guess he's a whale. We ride a whale around, but fuck it, whatever. And we use him to defeat Leviathan, the demon of envy. And Urbeth apparently was once a city of faith, but a recent plague. And this is the city, the like mercantile city that's next to the tower that we both had to recline with the boots. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of where we move on next. Apparently they were once a city of faith, but a recent plague turned it into like a cutthroat commerce town. And Thazend, one of the high merchants of the town, they have like 4 merchant leaders, has a daughter who's actually fallen ill to this plague. And Jusqua is determined to prevent her death and finds a cure. But we also find out that the town apothecary is causing the plague, and he's selling the medicine at an absurdly high markup. This is when we reveal him to be Beelzebub, the demon of gluttony, and we rip his ass apart because he's not ass demon. Yeah. This guy doesn't fuck. So
Leviathan and Beelzebub were easy, man. I just remember like going, why was the snake guy so hard?
Yeah, I died to Leviathan a couple times, but it was because like I died to him and then I was like, oh, break's over. I need to go get electricity weapons, and then I like flip it up and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then I get into the fight and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot my weapon skin. But yeah, dude, compared to Ass Demon, like these guys were fucking nothing. These guys were a cakewalk. So once we fucking dunk on this asshole, Thazend actually gives us the Cape of Light, and Urbeth becomes a balanced city between commerce and faith. So good times. So then we move to Arbor, and Torte, who was once a human rather than the rat that we know him as, releases Belphegor, the demon of sloth, or ass to ass, as I call him, in order to obtain the super OP spell Lux. Apparently for doing this, his punishment was to be turned into a mouse, and he's kind of the reason why the Arbor Queen hates humans, is because he's such a fuck up. So Belphegor attempts to possess Arborok to destroy the Arbor, so like their little like dude. And originally Belphegor wins, but in our time warp intervention, we can prevent it, but not before he fucks you over and over and over and over again.
Schweiss, Belphegor was the boss. He has the cube, right? I was like, have you gotten to the guy with the cube yet? I kept on asking Schweiss that because the cube stopped me.
Yeah.
The cube. The cube made it so that I think I had to pause this game basically for a week and do the auto battle function. At least I thought this was the right thing to do, because he continuously switches without any warning whatsoever. You have no idea what the next spell is, no matter what. You'll go into forums and they'll say that you can know, but it's bullshit. I guess this boss is in Bravely Default and has a direct pattern. But in 4 Heroes of Light, he does not have a pattern.
No.
His weakness to whatever magic it is changes every time you do major damage to him.
Right, and it changes per cube, and he starts with 4 cubes. And you don't choose who you attack. So if you hit a cube with a water spell, and it's like, oh, elemental weakness has changed, you can't just be like, well, fuck you, I'm going to attack your cube buddy to the left. No, because your guys will attack the same guy. And if you do that, I don't even know. You'll fucking heal him.
There's no fucking bad guy selection in this game. Like, We can't just be like targeting the one. It's like, oh, I know this one's weak to this one right now.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do that. It's like that part is difficult, and so I thought that the right thing to do was to get the lightning spell, because lightning was the only element I didn't have.
Right.
And so I got into the towns. I went online. I was like, where the fuck is the lightning sold? And it was like, oh, it's sold in this town in daytime. And spoilers, by the way. Apparently there is no daytime when they're doing this section of the game. It just stays in stormy mode, and it's nighttime in all the towns. And it never switches. I did it for like hours on end. I kept on going into this fucking town, dude. And it just never changed the time of day. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I looked on this thing, and it was like, okay, so it's only available. Okay. All right. And then there was like some other like bizarre way to get the spell. So I did eventually get the fucking lightning spell. And then I was like, fuck yeah, I'm ready for this, man. I'm ready to do battle with this motherfucker. I got all the fucking cubes out of the way, or at least two of the 3 cubes out of the way. No, I think I killed all the cubes. Yeah, I did kill all the. Hold on. I got 2 out of the 3 cubes away the right way. I got them out of the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the random like weakness thing happened. And it's not random. It's only when you attack. So it's not like he ever switches back to a different weakness. He waits for you to fucking attack with a large amount of that magic. And so he fucking like went there, and then I tried every single fucking black spell I had, including lightning, and I was like, oh my god. He won't die with this. So there was a dude doing 10 damage a hit with just physical attacks. He just didn't have any black magic attacks. I set 3 of my characters to heal, and this weak-ass motherfucker just, like, railed at him. And I'm like, look, I did a lot of damage to him with the magic earlier. He's supposed to have, like, 4,000 HP. This should take a few hours. And I put it on auto battle, and I just let my DS sit there for a few hours. And then, like, this happened for days, right? So what happened was, like, I did this, like, 5 times for hours on end each time. Sometimes the guys would, like, one of them, like, the wrong one would get paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I would get fucked. And I didn't see it happening. And then another time it's just like, wow, it's been hours. I've left this DS on for hours, and this guy's going. I, like, upgraded my equipment, like a little bit. Not enough. I upgraded a little bit, and like it still was like, wow, this guy's got way more health than I thought. Then I found out that this game, like FF8 before it, at a certain point in the game, it's not during the beginning part where your characters are separated, but when they come back together, the more you level up, the bigger the levels of the enemies get as well.
Right.
Just like make sure that this game will fuck you over no matter what if you don't understand the equipment system. Which we'll talk about in gameplay. But this fucking thing, so I did that, and like I was just there for I left it. I think one night I just left it on overnight. And I was like, fuck it. I have fucking had it. I've had it with, like, setting this game on. This is the only thing going on in my life right now. Obviously, I didn't realize I was going to be sound mixing the entire movie here soon. This is the only thing going on in my life right now. I don't give a fuck. I'm just fucking watching movies or reading books and, like, putting this game to the side, which I wanted to beat very quickly. And this motherfucker will not die. I'm doing 10 damage a hit. I see it happening. I just see him fucking doing it. And then one day, like, I obviously don't have my timeline very well. I probably ranted about this earlier to the date. But one day, I saw him heal himself. So, and that was at that point where I was like, oh my god, am I going to have to, like, restart this game? What the fuck am I going to do? And it was at that point when I thought I knew the equipment system pretty well, but I didn't, really. So it was at that point when I got a list of all the best areas to grind gems out, and I got the best equipment in the game that I could just buy at a shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally, best non-elemental equipment, because elemental equipment, he fucking just like, I had 3 of my guys because of the Leviathan fight. I had 3 of my guys with the light element stuff, and the light element weapons at their base level were really high attack. So I just thought that, like, oh, I'll be good for the rest of the game. And that was very not true.
No.
Because multiple bosses, not just this one, were they were like light element. We're like the light of puss.
Yeah.
And so I had to, I went through and I took hours. I would do 20 gems at a time. I would like mark down. I had a little notebook next to me. And just as I was like, I was watching TV or something. I can't remember what I was doing. But I was absentmindedly just fucking grinding in this game. Just getting gems over and over again. And I knew it was leveling me up every once in a while, but like I needed the fucking gems to get my equipment, because the only thing that I could figure out to do, obviously you found a better solution, you fuckface. The only thing I figured out how to do was just like get my equipment up so much that like 2 of my guys are doing like a good amount of damage per hit, keep the other guys healing, and then I should be able to get him down and be able to hit him harder and faster than he heals, because when he is like 10% of the way from or not 10, but it's like a quarter of the way to dying, he starts healing himself every few turns. So I had gotten him down at 10 HP a hit at one point, down to like the last 1,000 health, and then there was just no way it was ever going to happen, because every time he got to that level he would just heal for 100. So I had my game in auto like cycle of death for like a week and a half on this bullshit. But I did upgrade my equipment, and it was still kind of a tough battle, but I eventually did fucking kill him. But yeah, that added, I would conservatively say 15 hours. Conservatively say 15 hours of my time just like doing something else and like just looking down at the DS and just like waiting for like my guy to finally like push through, because I had no idea what else to do. And I was afraid to like go grind for anything,
right? Because they level up with you.
Because I was afraid to level up, and I didn't realize like, oh, the stat boost you get from upgrading like both your armor and your weapons would be so much bigger, and like the effect would be even better than like not leveling up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fucking like, I don't know, I guess FF8 kind of ruined me in that way, and I just did the totally unlogical thing to do. Like the thing that like, of course I needed to go fucking get better equipment. Of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have to grind a bit, even though I thought grinding would be counterproductive, but I was totally wrong. And it was a fucking conservative guess, 15-hour mistake. Might have been a 25-hour mistake. I do not know.
Jesus, dude.
But it was fucking bad. To say that I have that, I mean, luckily there was an auto battle function, and I wasn't sitting there doing that. Thank God. Because it would have been the worst boss experience ever, but it was like a little bit of the game is really difficult. The equipment system does not explain itself, even though it's really simple, and I should have gotten it, but
yeah,
it was a combination of all those things, me being ruined by FF8 and me just like making the wrong decision. I just did something stupid.
Yeah.
And I wasted so many hours on that shit. What the fuck was your solution to killing that guy?
So we man, I kind of want to say our nickname for him, but I don't know.
I really don't want you to say.
Oh, fuck. Slightly homophobic. No, it's... So, you could probably figure it out. It's Belphegor is his name. And we had a choice nickname that I was fucking cry laughing at. Because I was so mad. I was just like... I messaged Joe. I was like, "Who'd you get stuck on?" Because I was in like the crushing puss like section of the game where I'm like, "Man, these boss fights are just they're setting him up. I'm fucking knocking him down." And then Joe's like, "Oh." I think his name was like Asmodeus, and then I got really stuck on him, and I was like, okay, leveled up, upgraded some shit, and brought his spam ass down. And you're like, is he the cube one? And I'm like, no, he's the guy who took who the king turns into. Admodius was that dude. Cube Man is next, it looks like, and then you named him, and then yeah, and then I said it took about 10 tries to kill Belphegor. And what I did was I had 3 black mages and a white mage, and I would boost my spells, and I used the non-elemental leaf and Leafra a lot because those...
I didn't know there was a non-elemental spell.
Yeah, I didn't until I bought them, because I just bought them when I was in that town, and I checked it, and I was like, oh, it's non-elemental black magic? And I was like, I wonder if this will work against this guy. I did Leafra with the boost move, and I think it did like 200 damage to one of the cubes. So I wrecked him, and I also made the joke. He's second cousin to Cocknuzzle from Final Fantasy IV, like this Belphegor. But yeah, once I got the Leafra, I dominated him, and then I would just switch whichever black mage spell. I would have one person cast the black mage spell, and then I would wait. And then he would do his little transition thing, and then I would have the next guy cast like a different one to try to find what his weakness was at any given point in his like pattern, I guess. It's not a pattern, but in his rotation. And I would just use Leafra and Leafga all the time.
God fucking damn you.
And then...
You and your non-elemental spell. I didn't even know that existed.
Oh,
Instead, I beefed up my entire party, and the rest of the game was really easy afterwards because everybody was maxed out on like decent armor and had decent weapons.
Yeah.
And like because the guide actually tells you where to get like the best weapon in the game, like I basically just leveled up the best weapon in the game to max and just like plowed.
Yeah, so, I did that too. I think I probably had more trouble on the last boss than you did.
Yeah, I think I tried the last boss twice. That was it.
Yeah, once I did what I did, he was not able to really touch me. But yeah, that guy was... Ass Demon was the one that fucked me hardest. I think I died like 20 times. And then Belphegor, I only died like 10 times. But it's one of those ones where you get to it and you are like, wow, I don't know how the fuck I'm ever going to beat this. Like, you get in and he just like, he fucks you every which way. And you're just like, like I start out and he's like, stone, and it's my fucking healer. And I'm like, oh, why?
Paralyze, stone, paralyze, stone.
Yeah. And then he flashes his fucking micro penis at us from his like under his robes, and everyone's like stunned. It's like, how could it be so small? He's so huge. Like no one can move, and it's like, God, just fucking stop, you spammy piece of shit. Fuck you. Just fucking spam. God. Like, I just barely got done playing Mortal Kombat, which is fucking Spam City Online. It's like, is there nothing in this world that's not spam? I don't even fucking like spam. Fuck. But god damn it, yeah, once we kill Belphegor, we obtain the super OP and very necessary spell, Lux. So, it was worth it, sort of. I mean, Lux is really good, but fuck, dude, Belphegor was nuts. And then, so, yeah, that was not great. We
What's
got
the rest
the
of the
spell,
story?
got it useful. Now we go to NVIDIA, home of excellent CPU, or not CPUs, video cards. Yeah, video cards and Russians, apparently. And we help the daughter of Rikote and journey to the Sun Temple to defeat Mammon, the demon of greed, who we fucking dunk on. We come back to the village. Spring has finally arrived, and we are awarded with the Armor of Light. We then visit Spelvia in the past and save Roland from the darkness. We dive into his soul and defeat fucking Lucifer himself, the demon of pride, to free his soul. Once we do that, Lucifer wasn't really that hard. A lot of these, it's like, oh, the first time you'll die, and you'll be like, okay, this guy was strong against it, so I need this element, or I need to block with these shields. You come back in, you fucking wipe the floor. You get the Sword of Light, and you finally make it back to Horn, or Horny, who is suffering a drought in the past. So this extreme situation called for extreme measures, and the town voted to ask the witch Lohi for help. It's also oddly the day of Air's birth. So that's like a weird time paradox thing that's going on, but whatever. Her father apparently agrees to give her away to break the seal on the legendary black magic. And our defiance of the deal by saving Air and killing Luhi caused the curse in the first place. So by us doing that, we turned them to stone in the future, which I thought was kind of a cool time paradox bullshit thing that we got. And we eventually used the Lamp of Truth to question the shitlord king of this town, and we find out that he's Satan, who is apparently not Lucifer, demon of wrath. Once we knock his ass out, Brant's parrot shows up and reveals himself to be the actual mayor of the town, and we find out that we kind of got played in the beginning and served the evil people by getting the town turned to stone and by like setting all this shit in place. So that was kind of cool. The king thanks us and gives us the super overpowered black magic Desolator, which is a fucking amazing name.
Oh, it's a good spell too.
Oh yeah. And then finally we have the weapons of light, and we use Cletus. We use that there Cletus to enter the dark world. And I'm not talking about the one from that crap Thor movie either. We, of course, we lose all of our jobs and have to earn them back by defeating all the douchebag bosses that the game offered. And you know who they put first? Fucking Ass Demon and Belphegor. I'm like, why? Because I went into the last area and I had my fucking hero party member, and I sent you some videos of what I was doing with that hero. I was fucking laying this game out. Like, I was serving these motherfuckers up.
You did way more damage than I thought was even possible in this game.
Yeah, dude. There were, in the final fight, I hit the last boss one time for 1,700 damage in one hit. When I killed him, I fucking killed him. Like, it was sick. And I was like, this game's fucking mine. And then I get down there and it's like, oh, all of your crowns have been stolen from you. Defeat bosses to get them back. And I'm like, okay. Go down one step, go step onto this platform, and lo and behold, fucking Belphegor. And I'm like, oh, God. No.
See, I beat him with physical attacks the first time, so it was just like, I already had all that shit. I was good to go. The last section of the game was not difficult for me at all, man. I went through it very quickly, 2 hours max for the whole thing.
It took me way more than that. It was probably like a 7-hour thing. Because I didn't upgrade my equipment that much. I upgraded one of my best weapons a couple times, and then I just left it because I didn't need it. Because I was pulling out, my main party for most of the game, once I got everything down, I was the hero with Unita, and I was the white mage with Air, and I made Brant, I made him like the archer, the ranger guy, because I just like rangers as classes, just because fucking Aragorn and shit. And even though that was the one I had to change in the end. And then I made just Squaw, my bard, and he was why I was fucking so hard. Because I would do a move called Motet, and it would reduce the damage I would take, and then he would play a little ditty, and then I would do like this final move, or it's called it's some sort of final sounding move. With my hero, and it would be everybody would attack, and then the hero would attack really hard, And the hero herself, like, she would sometimes do 1,100 damage, and then everybody else was doing like 1 to 200, and it didn't take their turns up. And so I was just fucking mopping people up. Like, I was fucking destroying this game when I got that. And then it fucking got taken away from me, and I had to fight all of these guys that I was not prepared to fight. I had to keep leaving the fucking dungeon. It was rough, but I feel like it's a really similar idea to FF8's Final Dungeon in this area where you kind of go in and you don't have the ability to do anything. And then you're like, well, do I really need this class? Like, because I went and I found...
Do I need items?
No. Yeah. It's like, no. I found Satan, and I fought Satan, and Satan fucking wrecked my shit. And I was like, I don't really need to try out the Dark Knight class or the fucking Dark Swordsman class. Dark Fencer is what it is. I'm like, I'm okay. I'll just pass it. Just fucking no. Let's just go to the end. So then we dive deep. We like go into the universe, like in space and shit, and we find Chaos, who shatters our job-creating crystal. So Chaos hates jobs. He hates the economy. He destroys all the jobs. And even though he doesn't, oddly, he just destroys the crystal. And he still loses to us. But again, not only after making me spend hour after hour journeying through fucking space to fight him again and again. So once we kill his ass, we embark on the classic Final Fantasy World Tour, returning all of the sacred weapons to their areas that they belong to, where we earned them from, visiting our buddies. Everything's good to go, and we finally return home. And the game ends. You can continue the game after it's over. There are optional jobs you can unlock. I know of 2 optional dungeons, one of which I explored because I was like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's go down here. I got destroyed, so I went back and never went back down. You can grind out the classes. I only unlocked like half of the different classes in the game, I think.
Yeah, me too.
So, like, there's a lot of extra stuff in there to do. I mean, even then, the ones I unlocked, I only played like 10 of them maybe total. The story is pretty light. I had to read up on a lot of it. Like, I only started really getting into it with the, like you said, with the Roland stuff. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, But I still had no idea what was going on.
That's actually when I checked out.
Oh, really? Is that what
Yeah.
It's weird because like time and space get all fucked up, and it doesn't really say much about that.
It doesn't say much at all. So I got a bit of a. Here's the thing: the game starts up and it's like, name your characters, and these are their personality traits. By the way, like, it gives you like a paragraph about what the character is all about. Like, I'm gonna remember that at all?
I don't even remember that was part of the game.
Yeah, dude. That's at the beginning of the game. It's like, this young whippersnapper is an asshole. Yeah, this one believes in the good of everything, or something like that. It's like really broad strokes characters.
She doesn't know her father.
The amount of time, like, you're playing these characters all the time, and I guess you're there a lot, but like, there's no character development.
Yeah.
At all.
Like, all of the characters are douchebags. Like, oh, she's asleep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to continue on without her. And I'm like, what are you doing? I don't want to go alone. Like, are you fucking high? Have you not seen the monsters in this fucking world of yours? Like, don't leave her behind. Please.
Yeah, and it's not really like a clear goal, simple story, which I kind of prefer in these RPGs when they have like a bit more of a simple story, or at least spend more time with the characters setting up things, and I'm able to follow it. But when it's just like, this thing happens and then this thing happens, and then this thing happens, like when it does that like linear line bullshit thing, and then it's like, oh, and then the end of the world happens, I'm out. And I was out pretty much the entire game story-wise. I was just like, okay, this is a lot of stock concepts I've seen from Final Fantasy, and I don't give a shit. And I guess I read all the lines, but nothing sunk in. So it's just one of those. A lot of these spin-offs have been that way for me. And of course, like the 2 FF11 FF14 kind of have the same problem as they do for me. I'm just like, if I'm not roped in, even if I'm paying attention, it just like goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah, I know what you mean,
like,
because I there was a lot of this game where I like had no idea what was going on. And it's just
yeah,
it's not because I don't want to know, it's just that it doesn't catch my interest, and it flies out. And
yeah,
you're right, it's a lot of stock ideas. Like, it really is a callback to those earlier games where it's not really as much about the story. And I feel like FF2 it pulls from a lot too, because we have the guest character thing from FF2, so we ran into a lot of guest characters. But then I'm like, I don't really care about these guest characters. Like,
yeah,
there a couple of them are kind of cool, but then the rest of them, like, they're just kind of stock characters that we played around with for a little while, and they left the party. There's no sacrifice character like with Joseph and FF2 or anything like crazy. Um, so like it was really reminiscent of those old ones. I agree with the story especially, because there's not much to sink your teeth into here. It's real light when it comes to it.
It's a lot like FF3. I feel the same way about the story of FF3.
Yeah.
Just like, don't really remember it at all. I do remember it was the first one where like the whole world is like praying for you at the end to defeat the big bad guy, and that was like the first of that trope.
Yeah, and this
in the
one we just
series.
had the Star Wars ghosts visit you, even though they're not dead, which was awkward.
And I remember in an old man like randomly turning into a bird.
Yeah, yeah, that was the
but
king.
It's kind of like with this game, even when I was playing it, like after I had just gotten done beating it, I was like, I remember turning into animals to like get to certain places.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like I was trying to turn back, or someone was trying to turn back into an animal. Like that was as much of the story as I could remember.
Yeah, which is very reminiscent of FF3 again, with the mini and stuff like that we had to do in that game.
Yeah. So it's definitely not a story driven. There is a story there. I don't think it's that interesting. I don't think it's going to hold that many people's interests at all. Certainly, I think this is on the story level, this is pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
But it's not like Mystic Quest had like the greatest story in the world, so I can't really like.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So to be fair to that, it's kind of we're in the doldrums of the story. We have been for a while. I don't think we have had a good Final Fantasy story that I was like into since Crystal Bearers, ironically.
Yeah.
But
which is
also
probably
Crystal
the
Bearers'
worst.
gameplay was terrible.
Yeah, it's
so
probably the worst game to play.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one of those things. This is one of those Final Fantasy games where the strength is not going to be in the story. However, I do have a totally positive outlook on this game, and we'll talk about that in gameplay. What did you think of the story?
Yeah, it's pretty stock, and it kind of wants to go places, but then it never really pushes the envelope, I feel like we had too many characters, too many side characters, and I don't mind not having a super strict, like, very well fleshed out main character. Like, I prefer that in the games, but that's not like a hit or miss for me. But in this game, it just felt like there were too many side guys that you really never had the time to connect with, and it never really stuck. And I don't really like time plots a lot. And this one, I guess, was okay. But I don't know. I don't think of this game, and like I told Craig that he should play this game, our friend Caleb Craig, and it wasn't because of the story. It's because of the gameplay. The story, I think, is very forgettable and extremely stock. You fight chaos at the end. You are returning the universe to order, setting things right, and that's an extremely stock story for the Final Fantasy series, especially, and then also within the confines of fantasy as a whole. It doesn't really bring anything new to the table necessarily. I guess we haven't had too many games play with the idea of you altering the future as much. With like 8 and 13.2, I guess you do fuck with stuff, but 8's is fucking retarded. So like
Time compression.
Yeah, like you starting Seed to fight the sorcerer. Like, why? What? Like that is stupid. This one I thought was like, oh, it was kind of cool. when you kind of fucked yourself over and were playing for the bad guys in the beginning. But overall, it's not really an impressive story. I think it's kind of one of the detractors to the game. It's why I can see why the game is moderately to well reviewed. It's because of the story, and that's something that Final Fantasy is kind of known for having good stories. And this is a time period where they just kind of didn't. And this game falls right into that late 2000s, early 2010s era of FF.
Yeah. Definitely like a good throwback though. It really brought all the mediocre aspects of the first three games into the story front. Yeah, it really brought it all forward into this one. It's actually it's more in depth of a story than those three games, but at the same time, the characters are just as flat and just as uninteresting. So I'm kind of out at that point. The gameplay.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean it's a bad game or anything. And like you said, the gameplay. This is where the game, I think, is actually really good. It's a real stripped down Final Fantasy, and that can, be awesome and really easy. It's like you start out the game and you all have one class and it's Freelancer, and they're good at using items to boost up. They have like better effects with usable items, which I didn't use in this game fucking at all, basically. And then you unlock crowns, which you then wear and use those crowns to play different classes. Now, what I didn't realize is that everyone has their own crown for each class. So I upgraded crowns for people that weren't using those classes, thinking that I was upgrading my one crown and not just like that person's crown. So that fucked me over for a little while. But each person has their own set of job classes that are available to them. And you don't have to switch your items at all. You don't have to move any of that around when you change those jobs. So like you can have a big-ass sword and be a white mage if you want to, but your base stats will drop depending on the class. So you'll have higher intellect, so your healing spells will do more, but you'll do way less physical damage. As a black mage, you're same thing. Your spells will do more damage, but you won't heal very well, and you won't do very much physical attack. So that's kind of like the really cool aspect of the game to me is just playing around with those crowns, and you insert gems into those crowns, and you earn the gems by fighting specific enemies. There are places to grind gems, as Joe knows. I didn't actually look any of those up. I just said, fuck it. If the gems come, they come. And I ended up maxing out, I think, 4 jobs total. I upped a bunch of jobs, at least to level 2, just to defeat certain bosses, like the Black Mage, to get the like magic focus spell, which was like double the effect of the original booster that you get just by equipping the job class. And then I upgraded my hero class, which gave me the like finisher move, which was fucking just completely metal. I was doing like 2,000 damage to the final boss with the little ditty playing in the background. I bet you that just Squaw like threw on E1, M1, and that's why everyone was just fucking tearing it up. Just fucking fucking dunking on those guys. But it's interesting. You get to like customize your character, and that's like one of like 5 ways to level up. So you have your base level up, which increases your stats based on like predetermined criteria. I'm pretty sure certain guys will be better at strength and more intelligent for better heals, more inclined to certain jobs per se, but you can really customize it however you want. So you have that, you have the crowns, you have your base level ups, you have equipment that you get. So like
yeah, but it's really simple though. You got the crown system, you have the job system, you level up those jobs, you get I think you can get new abilities for a few of them. I didn't really fuck with the crowns too much. But then like the equipment is just like you get a cape, or you get like you get a cape, you get an extra item, which can be a ring or something like that, and that'll be like status effect stuff. So like, oh, if you want to be immune to paralyze, or if you want to be, it's those things. And they don't have mess with stats. They're just as is, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah. Well,
and then there's two where you can mess with the stats, and that's the weapon and that's the armor. And sometimes those have extra statuses to them, sometimes they don't. And all you do throughout the game is like you collect a good amount of gems. And this is like the only loot system they have. It's really stripped down.
Oh yeah.
You collect gems. You go to the place. You go to the town. You can either sell the gems for gil to be able to buy spells and items, and more weapons and armor, or you can use the gems. And like they'll like, I don't know what they're actually doing in the game, but like you can use those to then like insert into your armor or into your weapons to increase their stats. And it goes up to a certain place, it can max out, and then you basically you get that's how you strengthen your stuff in this game. It's much less about leveling up, especially at the part of the game where level ups don't help you at all, which is bullshit. I hate it when they do that in these games.
Yeah.
But at that point, like it doesn't really matter. So it's a really stripped down loot system, really stripped down, really simple job system, equipment system. Which I'm not one of those guys who likes the FF11 or FF14. Like, oh, I'm gonna put like 16 of these into this thing in order to get this weird stat to go up. I think the worst example of that is Armored Core 4 Answer, which we played on Nude Clan, which is just like, oh, well, I can put like a screwdriver and I can insert it into this part of the robot and it'll give me like this much stat boost on my left-hand turns. Like, it's way too much. I like it kind of stripped down. I like it kind of simple. And this game is just like, it's old school FF, but even more simple, really good fucking job system.
Yeah.
I just love it. Basically, your jobs, you get like one job-specific ability, and then you get AP and, you get, I think it's AP, right? Basically, and like each of your abilities that you use, and it doesn't matter if like you're not a white mage or a black mage or something like that. You can
you
bring
just
in
have
spells,
to have
you
the
get
item
6
equipped.
slots.
So like you have it's almost like Crystal Chronicles in that way, where you equip the tome, and then you can cast that spell no matter what class you are. But it's cheaper with certain classes. Like they have passive abilities where it's like, oh, all white magic spells cost 1 less, but you can still use it as a black mage or a bard or whatever.
And you can either use a turn gaining the AP or MP in order to use the spell, or you can use up the spell, or an attack costs 1 or whatever, so it's just like 1 turn. Or you can use like the boost thing, which you'll boost 2 instead of just 1 for the turn. So there's no like items, or there are items having to do with MP/AP, but I don't know. I love you can just wait around for your AP to like come up after like 5 turns. You're gonna get railed on, just a little bit, but there's like a strategy in that, and it's just really simple, really stripped down. There's also an auto battle feature, and it's a good auto battle. It's just for grinding gems, as far as I can tell, which is just like find the right guys. You can have whatever your last 4 things that you did on each of your characters. You have 4 characters, so whatever their last move was, they just keep on repeating that move. So you can basically have like 2 guys heal and then 2 guys attack, and be able to grind that way without too much trouble, which is really good for a DS title like this. That's kind of has that old school Final Fantasy thing going on. But dude, I think, because like, what are the best job systems are like what? FF5, a vast improvement on FF3's job system.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then you got like Final Fantasy, like Tactics Advance, I think is a really good job system as well.
Yeah. Tactics 11, 5. Those are probably my top.
Yeah.
Because 14
think,
doesn't really do it, but yeah. Go ahead.
I think that this is it. It's been a long time since we've played 5, so and 5 has been my number 1 slot for job system for a long time. But this is at least second place for me as far as the job system is concerned.
Yeah.
I loved its utilization. I loved its stripped down simplicity. I loved that it was still really flexible, especially when it came to like healing and stuff like that. Like it didn't lock you off from doing another thing. Yeah. Similar to what FF5 did, where you could have like your subclass or whatever.
Right. When you reached a certain point in like one class, you could carry an ability over to the next class, kind of a thing.
Right. And so I really appreciate it when the game does that. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. It doesn't do like the wait 10 turns thing that FF3 sometimes did. I really dug the job system in this game. And it felt so much less intimidating than some of the other job systems because they were so simple. It was basically like one move, and if this one move is really useful, and the stat bonuses, of course, on like attack and stuff like that, certain jobs would have better stats for certain things. Like if that was the useful thing for the fight you were on, then you just switch over to that guy, and then you can utilize that. And I don't know. I really dug that system. I really dug. I think the gameplay. I think this is. I'd have to look at our list of games. I think this might be. It's the best gameplay we've had in a long time. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, I still like the tactics games more. But yeah, this is a really good job system. I mean, it's really stripped down, like you said. Like when we got the really awesome spell Lux that I was talking about earlier in the story, you can throw that on anybody. I can throw that on my archer, who I had it on for most of the game, my ranger character, because he was usually just a damage dealer, just like the backup damage guy, and I would just throw all these other random spells onto him so that he could throw these passive spells out, and my white mage could just worry about healing. There's that. You can put on... I equipped everybody with like magic books, which allows you to use the spells during some of those elemental fights. The amount of like ways you can get around some of these fights. Like when I fought the fucking ants, there's like a red and blue ant that you fight inside Roland, and they're fucking RNG whores, right? And for me, I had to put an ice shield on my damage dealer, a dark steel shield on Roland, who is my guest character, and so that would lower the ice damage to my DPS, and Air was in the back row, so she would take less damage, so I didn't have to get her one. So I'm like managing my gil here and not having to buy all these items. I'd use Healthbringer, which allows you to use like your healing item on all the characters, cure everybody back up to the top, get an occasional black mage spell off on the fucking blue piece of shit, and then like keep repeating until they died. And the hard thing about that fight is you're fighting two guys at once, and you're always gonna fight. You're gonna kill the blue guy, the red ant first, and then when the red ant dies, you fight the blue ant, and then when the red ant comes back to life, you go back to the red ant. So there's a lot of like you have to prep and know when this thing's gonna die, and have your AP built up to where you can pull off these big crazy moves to kill them. In the end of the game, what I was trying to do on the final boss, and it wasn't working out for me, I had my main damage dealer who was the hero class, and that was the one that was Unita. I was doing like a shitload of damage with her, but I would have to use a spell that was like 4 or 5 AP, so it was crazy. I would start the fight out with her casting that, and then I would do Diddy with my fucking bard, so I would get the increased attack damage. And so when she did that, we did more and more damage each hit, and then it did like, I think she did like 900 by herself with the last hit. It was probably about 1,200 total. And then I would cast Lux with the white mage, which is like a passive. Everybody gets healed up at the end of each round. So like when he does the AoE attacks on you, you're like kind of ticking back up to health, and then I'd get my heals ready. And then I got to the third phase, and he picked up my healer. No, he picked up my archer guy, and he used my archer guy to kill my fucking healer in the first move in the game. I didn't even get anything off, and he just fucking just executed my fucking the person that keeps everybody alive, you know. And then I eventually went in, and I was like looking online. I was like, okay, how the fuck can I get past this? Like, he just does these. God, he casts lightning like 4 times in a row, and it's like, fuck, I can live like twice, but 4 or 3 or whatever, like I can't keep living through that. Because once you cast Cure with the Everybody Gets Cure spell, you have to cast the Everybody Gets Cure spell, and then you cast Cure the next time. And so it's like a 2-step process, and he was killing me before that step ended. So I chose the Elementalist class, which is like the most cultural appropriation of all the classes, because I've got this big Native American fucking headdress on. I just fucking cast this ability. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but it like dropped the elemental damage by a ton, and he would cast the lightning and fire spells on me, and it would do like 60 damage instead of like 180, which is what it was doing before. So once I went in with my big ass headdress and that class like maxed out, I fucking mopped the floor with that guy. But it's like I don't know, it's a lot of fun, because like you got to watch the little text box, and it's like, oh, Diddy ran out, and it's like, okay, got to get Diddy up before like I do this big ass attack so that I don't lose out on like 800 damage, and playing around with that. And then I had Lux on one of my damage dealers, who was the Indian headdress guy, and I eventually just gave it to the chick, because the only reason why I gave it to the ranger was because I was getting raped before I got a chance to get a cure off. And so I wanted another guy to cast it while I was prepping for my cures. And so, like, just kind of playing around with the items. And then I think I gave the native guy the fucking big nuke spell, the Destructo-gasm or whatever the fuck it was called. And so every once in a while I would just drop that in just to do a shitload of damage when I was in between rotations. I agree, man. I think this is a really fun game to play. It's just a real fucking hard game. Like, you think you know what you're going to do, and then you go into the final dungeon, and they take everything from you, and then you don't know what you're going to do. You're just going to get fucked, in my experience anyway, because I didn't upgrade all my equipment. I only upgraded, like, I think the ultimate armor once, and the ultimate sword twice, and that's it. Like, everyone else just had base weapons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was
Hero
rough.
with that thing is pretty good.
Oh, did you use the hero class?
I did at the end, yeah.
Yeah, dude, fucking hero. Oh man, when you get that like finisher move off, fuck, it's so much fucking.
Yeah,
damage.
I didn't use the bard booster.
Oh man,
So I was only doing like a mere 700 or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, I love the battle system, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I wish the game exploration was a little bit closer to the old school ones. They went for this like 3D thing, which we can talk about in design a little bit. And that's kind of like the only thing. It's like, oh god, you get lost in mazes a lot because we decided to zoom up real close, and it is like an old school game. Like the map is set up that way, but you had a much wider point of view in an old school game.
Yeah.
Than you do in this one, which I do think that affects gameplay a little bit. It's mostly out of frustration, and this game is also not playing around. This is it's old school in like a beast kind of a way. Like it wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
So, but it's not so unforgiving that it's like the world's worst thing. And it's also like a really fun game. So, although it is harder, and obviously I spent a lot of time on it, I didn't come away with the same amount of frustration that I did at the end, like with the chaos fight at the end of Dissidia.
Yeah,
like,
this chaos isn't as hard. That's for sure.
I mean, the week where I was doing the auto battle was kind of terrible, but I was still like just watching like a movie or some shit while that thing was going. So can't say it was like the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I love the gameplay. I absolutely love the gameplay. I think it's one of the best. Definitely one of the top like 3 in terms of gameplay of the spin-offs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think in terms of gameplay, it beats out a few of the main series. Like I think it's just a really it's seriously underplayed. And I know that they came back and they did Bravely Default, which all I've ever heard from Final Fantasy fans is that Bravely Default is awesome, and it's like, oh, because apparently Bravely Default was going to be a sequel to this game, and this game is fucking awesome. And it's likely that they improve the system even more for Bravely Default. So
yeah. I think it is a great gameplay. I think I would be surprised if this wasn't one of the best spin-off games. Bad story, lackluster story aside, it was a lot of fun to play. You know, I can't think of a better standalone spin-off yet. I mean, we have 2 more standalone spin-offs to play right after this. And I mean, I guess Type 0 is connected to 13-ish, but like this game is more fun than Type 0 is. So,
oh yeah,
and the story didn't ever let me down like Type 0's let me down. It was just like, man, the whole time. Oh no, Joe, you gotta play it twice. You gotta play it twice to get the true ending, and it's like, why play it twice? I got the platinum on the first playthrough. There's no reason to pull me back in. But yeah, lots of fun. There's some weird mini games. There's like a fucking math mini game in NVIDIA, where you have numbers and you have to like get the number back to the number 10, and you can multiply and like divide and subtract and add, and like each time you do it, at the end of 3 phases, you have to have it down to 10 again. And you get whatever amount of points you increase it to each sequential time, and then you can unlock new awards and like items. And I guess there's a class hidden in there if you get enough points. I don't know what class it was, probably like mathematician or something, some shit like from the tactics games. But there was some crazy stuff in there. I liked the gemstones. I feel like that's I think it's a cool, really simple loot system, like you were saying earlier, because it's just, do you want to use them or do you want to sell them? Like, what do you need right now? You have so many options. And I sold way too many in the beginning, and it made it tough. But there's so many ways to kind of overcome stuff in the game that it's not a big deal. The RNG is kind of bullshit in the game. Like, sometimes when you go into a boss fight, they'll hit you in certain ways, and you'll not be able to get your heal off, and it's just an auto restart. And like the game, dude, according to the DS, right? I've launched the game. Fucking let me pull this up again. I've launched it 140 times, and most of that is me getting really pissed off, pressing the home button, exiting out of the game, and then going back into the game.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like average play time of 21 minutes. Like, in reality, that is a total lie. So most of this I did in like the last few days. But that's just like a testament to its brutal RNG, and it's just like, well, this time it's not going to happen, and I don't want to go back to town because I saved in the middle of the dungeon, so fuck that. There's a lot of different items you can use, like to teleport back to town, stuff like that. And the nice thing is it's pretty forgiving. And I think leveling up can help you, but only if you understand the job system and you have a good setup. It's kind of like FF8. Like, you can get to level 99 and beat the game just fine in FF8, but if you feel like you had to get to level 99 to beat it, you're probably not going to beat it because you don't understand the game. In this one, it's the same way. Like, I'm sure there's a point of no return. Like, when I fucking got level 99 in Revenant Wings and I went and tried to fight the end boss, no way. That was not going to happen. I was getting fucking ripped to pieces because that game also leveled up with you. And I was afraid that I was going to have another fucking Revenant Wings on my hands when you were telling me about a boss that you were doing 1 damage to for 6 hours. You know, I was like, fuck.
It was 7 to 15.
God.
10 damage.
And see, for me, it was always 1 because I had elemental weapons. So I had to use the magic. But when I used it, I shredded them. So it's good. The one thing that sucks about it being stripped down, though, and I ran into this too many times. My healer would get turned to stone, but of course, Asmodean would fucking flash his tiny pecker and balls at me, and like it would confuse one guy, it would fucking confuse and silence one guy, and then it would like leave 2 of them alone, and I'd throw out my remedy, my super hyper expensive remedy, and it would do it to the guy that doesn't even cast, and I'm like,
fuck that happened all the time. I would do that Asuna or whatever, and just like the wrong guy. I'm like, God damn it! I want the guy who's fucking stone, not the guy who's fucking got like just like can't do his moves for a second. Spell.
Yeah, it was really frustrating, and a lot of times the game knows what to do, but there's a bunch of times where it doesn't, and it's in really, really clutch scenarios where it's like, okay, this needs to happen now, and then it doesn't happen, and it's just a quit. You just have to quit out. Yeah, that happened a bunch, and it was like, I appreciate the stripped down nature of it, but sometimes it's a little bit too much when it comes to recovering my characters, because like everyone has a fucking status effect, so like it's a fucking roulette. 1 of 4. There's a 1 in 4 chance that you're gonna get what you want, you know. And when you're getting fucked by this like horrible boss with 8 tentacles on him, like you don't really have time for that kind of bullshit. And there was one time fighting him, like I think half of my team was turned to stone before I even pulled their moves off. So like the RNG is just evil in this game. That's probably the biggest detractor to gameplay. But I think the classes are great. I think coming up with fun little combinations, and just like the amount of defense that I had in the end, like it was crazy. He did his like black hole move, and it only did like 100 damage, maybe. And that was like it was Big Bang. That's what it was called. And it did like nothing to me. And so I was just able to crush the 3rd form of chaos when I had my elementalist character, which I found like some website was like telling me about strats, and it told me about this ability that like it said reduced magical damage, but it really should have said really fucking reduces magical damage in the description, because it made it like nothing. But yeah, there's so many things that you can do with the game. There's so many different like combinations. You can throw that big black mage spell up on your bard, and when he's caught up on all of his rotation of moves, you can just drop that fucker and deal that extra damage. I think it's a really, really fun game to play, and it's got some cool mini games, and there's extra dungeons to explore in the game if you so desire. I'm sure there are extra classes down there to play around with, and I almost kind of feel regretful that I stuck with the classes that I did, because like I bet you there's probably some really overpowered combos that would be really fun to try out, and this is one of those games where the game's fucking hard enough that it makes trying those things fun. You know, it's like there are plenty of games out there where it's like, oh yeah, I could do these extra things, but there's no need because the game's so fucking easy that like, why would I take the time when I can just beat it in my sleep? But this game fucks you hard, so like you kind of want to come up with those bullshit combinations that are like totally unfair to Ass Demon, and just wreck him with it. So it's a really rewarding game when it comes to the gameplay, and I think this is a great game to play. Like I think all of you guys out there should totally play this game. Just be prepared. Be prepared to get destroyed.
Yeah, it's not easy. Do we want to talk about design and music for a bit? Music, I guess. What are your thoughts? Because my thoughts were it was forgettable soundtrack. I definitely didn't have a problem with any of the music, and I think I turned on the music for like the final boss battle and was kind of like, oh, okay, this is all right. I'm just trying to remember what my thoughts were back then, but I can't remember a single thing about the music in this game. So you're the one who played it most recently. What do you think about the music?
I think it's okay. I really liked the mysterious theme in Horn. Like when the village was turned to stone, it was just like boo doo 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 doo. It was just like this weird like mystery theme to it.
Oh no, I remember. Oh, thank you for singing that. Now I remember it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one I liked. And then the battle theme it's a fine battle theme. You know, it doesn't really grind on you or anything like that. And the rest of it was just kind of reminiscent of previous games almost. And then so a lot of it's
I remember what my thought was at the end of this game. I remember thinking, "Oh, it sounds like someone trying to sound like Nobuo Uematsu, and they're doing an okay job. It's not quite as memorable."
yeah, with like
right.
with the world tour at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it felt. Yeah, that's kind of how I would describe that fucking composer, to be honest. Not bad, but just not Uematsu level.
We'll hear some tracks on the in-between in this episode, so
yeah,
some reminder.
I say you definitely should use the horn one. So I thought that was a cool little track. And then the dungeon theme was like pretty similar through most of the dungeons. So, but it never got grading. Like, I don't think it's a very large soundtrack, but I don't know. It's passable.
And the design.
So
the art.
I really liked the pop-up book style, but really all it uses for that is it's like the little menu as you continue your game, and it'll kind of give you new pop-ups for achieving certain things within the game. It's almost reminiscent of the Sky Pirate's Den in Final Fantasy 12 when you would unlock like in-game trophies. It's just as you progress through the story, you'll get like, oh, here's a picture of the Great Tree. Oh, here's a picture of, the whale ship thing. Here's Cringe. Here's Ass Demon, like stuff like that, and it's like, I like that style, but I feel like they didn't really utilize it at all in this game. And that's one thing that I really liked about Chocobo Tales. Was just that,
Chocobo Tales went full throttle.
Yeah. And I was excited because I saw this when I ordered it. I was like, oh my god, it has that same pop-up art style? And it's like, yeah, not really. It's like, it thinks about having it.
It's somewhere between that and like the FF3 DS remake.
Yeah.
Especially in its like map overview, which I really don't care for. I wish we could have gotten a little further away from the characters on the map screen.
Yeah. 3 had that same problem.
I also think the world map, although pretty as a piece of art on the top of the DS screen, is hardly practical at all. You do eventually memorize the world a little bit, but looking at the world map with no fucking labels.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's like
drove me nuts.
There's like no labels online either. I looked for a world map that was labeled.
No, I did the same thing.
And I was like,
what I ended up doing when I was looking for all those gems, I would just have to like enter an area and be like, okay, that's not it. Enter another area. That's not it. Okay, this one's Mount Gulag. Okay, this one's
yeah.
This one's whatever the fuck. Like that's what I had to keep on doing. So I think honestly I don't like the art that much. I think that you're right about the pop-up thing. If they had gone full throttle like they did with the Chocobo Tales, then that would have probably been pretty good. It doesn't quite go in that direction. It doesn't quite go full on FF3, which I know it has the weird characters, but otherwise like the art, like there's a good amount of detail. It's got kind of a cool look to it in the 3D version of FF3. But in this one it's like a marriage between those two. And then they also took out all the color saturation. It's got this weird, like, muted color tone thing that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
Visually, like, that much at all. So I'm kind of on the I don't really care for the look of this game too much train.
Yeah. Also, Mount Gulg, it's confirmed. It connects this game to Dissidia, 012, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Final Fantasy 9. So... food for thought. Yeah. Same universe. But yeah, I kind of agree.
That means it also connects it to, if it connects it to 9, that means it's connected to 4, which means it's connected to Earth.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, which means it's connected to 13.3.
Yep. It all comes together.
Can you guys? I know not all of you have played all the Final Fantasy games, but hey, we got ourselves a train here. And so therefore, Spirits Within is the epitome of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it was more Final Fantasy than you could have ever known.
That's right.
That's what it said to the critics. It's like, strike me down now, and I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
You didn't know 4 was a prequel to Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
What do you know? Yeah, it all.
Oh, I forgot that the fucking sequel to 4 like basically ties in all the old school Final Fantasies together.
Yeah. Fuck, man, I just lost the name of it. Interlude is in between, and then after years.
After years.
Yeah. So it was connected anyway.
What are we doing?
I don't know. The art style, I don't know. I like the pop-up stuff, but the rest of it is just kind of fine. And I agree, it's kind of in between the pop-up-esque style and the DS remake of FF3, which I wasn't super into. The enemy designs are crazy in this one, but like they're not senselessly crazy either, like they were in 3.
The snakehead weird thing was pretty weird.
Yeah, but like in 3, it would look like a person, and then you would talk to it, and then it would be a bird. Like, in this, it looks like a guy that's about to flash his micro penis at you. You can't really see anything, so that's what I assume. So it was kind of made sense, but I don't know. I thought the final area looked cool with like the stars and stuff like that. It was a cool design, but I kind of prefer like FF2's final area where you're like in space and shit. Like I thought that one looked way cooler. But I don't know. Overall, I'm kind of like okay with the design. I think it looks pretty decent for a game of its time. I did find like a weird graphical error every once in a while. As I was walking, it would there'd be just this little bar that would just appear on the screen for like a split second and then go away. But it never...
I never had that.
Yeah, it was weird. It never affected gameplay or anything like that, so it was just like a weird one-off thing that was happening.
So we don't have any questions. That would usually be the next segment, but we... Oh shit, a possum fucking crossed the road. They're supposed to be carrying typhus, by the way, so I gotta stay away from them. Sorry, derailed. We don't have any questions, but we do have one review on Twitter. We put this fucking question thing up way too late and didn't ask last week, and we didn't put anything up on the forum, so we really fucked up. So if you guys want to... I put a place, I called it fucking... What did I call it? Your thoughts on Fungal Fantasy 4 Heroes of Light.
Yeah.
Is what I put on Twitter. So if you guys want to answer that and we can talk about it next time, that'd be great for those of you who have played 4 Heroes of Light and want to answer that. But Slime Knight says this is their review of the game. It's good, but the developers really refined gameplay with Bravely Default, although neither one really has that great of a story. So that's what Slime Knight says. So I'm excited to see what the Bravely Default gives us as far as gameplay is concerned. But yeah, that's the only audience interaction we have right now on this episode. Which, this one's running long anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah,
I guess
sorry.
That means legacy of the game and then our overall thoughts.
All right. So the legacy of this game is it's kind of one of those forgotten titles. That's sort of been par for the course as of late, as we get into these lesser played, lesser known Final Fantasy games with these standalone spin-offs. But I feel like it's a respected game for its difficulty, and I think those who have played it generally seem to like the game. I mean, think back of how gleefully, fucking, shit. Why am I drawing out Shinru? Yeah, Shinru. I almost used his PlayStation Network name. How gleefully Shinru was like, "Oh man, Four Heroes is gonna fuck Joe so hard." He just like it was like
and
dancing.
It did.
Oh, it did. Yeah, those guys fuck.
It did. But I liked the gameplay enough that I'm not screaming right now.
Yeah, you were screaming then though.
Yeah, I was pretty angry, but it wasn't like I was still like, oh, I have to go hunt down gems in this perfectly good game.
Yeah.
And it's not frustrating at all, so
oh, man,
it's fine.
I punched something and like my wrist was fucked up for a couple days. I was just like, fucking ass demon, and I just like grabbed something, I just like, or I think I hit the ground like really hard on my floor, and then I was like, fuck. A couple days after, it was really tender, and I was like, God, I gotta stop doing that. But that's that. We other than fucking Dissidia, the last few games that fucked us real hard, we haven't gotten fucked in a while. But I'm looking at the list, and it's Chocobo Tales, really easy. Before that was Final Fantasy Adventure, really easy. Crystal Bearers, don't even get me started, not easy, but also horrible gameplay wise. And then it's Dissidia 012, Dissidia NT, all fuck you hard games. And Chocobo's Dungeon is that is a beast of a game. Then we get the theater rhythms. It's like all nice and cheery. Mystic Quest was really fucking easy. Like even if you had a hard time with a fight, you just retry it. And then Four Heroes of Light just whips the series mega cock back out and just fucking beams you across the face with it. Like it's rough. Like I don't think this is the hardest one, but it's up there.
No.
It's up there, dude. It's like top 5 probably.
I think it's probably 5th place, 4th or 5th.
Cuz
the Dissidia games, especially the fucking last one, Dissidia NT, Vagrant Story, if we're counting that, and then fucking Tactics as well.
Yeah.
Those are definitely... Oh, and Revenant Wings. Like, those are definitely the hardest ones for me. This one's next up. Like, it's really hard, but it's not a game that fucks you over entirely. Like, it gives you an out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably 5th for me, as in terms of difficulty in this series that we've played. And the next 2 games are supposedly not very difficult at all. So I'm kind of excited just to have a good time. I know they're both long games, but they're not difficult.
No,
supposedly.
No. Speaking of long game, though, let's talk about Okay, so the game has a hidden timer that you can go find. It's like a dude in the town of Horn, and you can go talk to him, and his name's Sid, and he's like the stats guy is what he introduces himself as, and he tells you how long you've played the game. However, DSs also tell you how long you've actually been playing the fucking game, and I want to talk about the discrepancies therein. So...
What does it reveal about the actual game?
Yeah, what it reveals about the truth of the matter. So, Sid, on my game, he told me, after I beat the game, got to the credits, it was all over, he said, hey, you've been playing for 38 hours, 5 minutes, and 7 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think my DS time's going to be that much higher than it. I fucking whipped the DS time out, and it's 50 hours and 11 minutes, dude. 12 fucking hours longer than what was real. So 12 hours of my life gone, and Sid doesn't even know about it. Sid has no knowledge.
Did you write down my second time?
No, you said it was 34 hours.
All right. The total time on the DS for me. And I want you to know, guys, this game, you spend a lot of time in there, and then when you die, the game just, like, resets. It restarts. So what I would usually do, like, at the end of the thing, it would punish you by taking some of your gems away. If it only took, like, 2 of them away, I would go ahead and let the game restart me, and if not, I would have to go...
Yeah.
I would have to restart and go to the menu, but the game just kind of, like, boots up. It doesn't really have a menu that you stay on for a very long time, so this is true time. Like, it's not... It maybe has, like, 4 minutes of untrue time, right?
Yeah. This is Steam logging how long you actually were inside of the fucking game's interface. This is locking it down.
74 hours plus. It was like 74 something.
74:46. I got it right in front of me.
Yeah.
That is...
And then... the time that Sid in the game told me, this is not dying time and or going ahead and letting the game restart time. 35 hours. And I think it was like 40 minutes or something like that. 35 hours.
Yeah, that's...
That's... I lost... in this game more than I actually played the game.
It's more not there than it's there.
I laughed. I laughed when you told me to go find this guy today. I'm like, well, okay, all right, fine. Jesus Christ, all right. I assumed it would be like 50-something hours.
Right, yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, it's lower than your time?
It
is. The fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
Yeah, real time, 74 hours. Fake time, or oh, I got through the game just fine. I'm cool. 35 hours.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I did leave mine on a few times, but yeah, like that's a lot of time. Like, we both combined our in-game time, or SID times, are less than your overall time, than your DS time. That's fucking sick. That's fucking wrong. 74 hours, dude. That I think I platinumed FF12 Zodiac Age in like 56. And that's a fucking huge game. Admittedly, I had ×4 speed, but like, fuck, dude, there's a lot to do in that fucker. And like, it just took you more. It took you longer to fucking play the 4 Heroes of Light. Like, shit. And like, now I'm wondering, okay, so which time do I put on How Long to Beat? Like,
yeah, which is the real time.
Yeah. Do I want to make this game look like a motherfucker, or do I want to make it look like, it's a Final Fantasy, 30 hours, 30, 35 hours?
I think you should give it the real time, because How Long to Beat is about time maintenance, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's about time management. It's like, can I beat this game in time for yada yada? Mostly for podcasts. I can't imagine that fucking website has any other purpose. Like, I gotta beat this game. That's the only reason you would ever have that fucking website. I have no idea. Like, maybe we're the only people who use that fucking site. I have no idea. But How Long to Beat? Yeah, I think it had this game at like 40 something, right?
33 hours for main story, 42 for main and extra, 85.5 for completionist.
Okay, so it doesn't make any sense. Go ahead and put 74 hours, will you?
Yeah.
It's the real time.
Total of 35 people have polled. Yeah, that's what I did with my other DS titles when I added them to How Long to Beat. I just did whatever the DS said. And then on a few of them, like the Theater Rhythms, I was like, oh, I probably dinked around for like 3 hours, so I just tacked off a couple. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do, is just submit my actual time. Because I agree. That's like,
don't lie to the public.
Yeah, it's you using the site to determine, okay, I have like 80 games that I bought and I want to play through them, but I only have 20 hours this week. What can I knock out? And it's like, 4 Heroes of Light, it's only 33. I could probably push that. It's like, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
Walk on home, boy. Fucking not happening.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, so much time.
I know.
Right at the end here, too. Fuck.
I know, and I had other stuff that I was doing for Nude Clan. I was really behind on that. And now I'm like, it's like a clean slate. I have like 3 weeks before I have to do anything for that. And I'm like, fuck, so much time. I could finally go to sleep.
I might have to spend time with my family. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, who's this baby? What's this baby doing? Why does he have my skullet in my fucking eyes? It's weird.
You just tell him, like, someday your hair will go back to this point.
Yeah. Don't worry, this is the beginning of the end. It's starting to, like, come in on the top, and I kind of want to, like, shave it off and just have him have the skullet forever. But I'm like...
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Let him enjoy it. You had, like, full-on Kirk Hammett hair. I feel like you enjoyed your hair much more than I ever have.
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
My hair doesn't grow like that. It fucking poofs out and looks ridiculous.
Well, now I've got fucking Kerry King hair, so...
Yeah. Or the lack thereof.
Yeah, like fucking 20 years old on South of Heaven and already bald as fuck. See his dome. God. Yeah, guys, play this game though. I think it's a good one. Like it's just crazy how in depth it is, but how simple it is at the same time. Like it's just a lot of fun. Check out the optional classes, do the extra content, see what you can come up with, and like final thoughts for me. I think it's enjoyable, and I think it's worth a playthrough.
Final thoughts for me. Like it's a challenging game, but it's a real good battle system. And for those who are into the Final Fantasy for the gameplay, definitely something to try if you haven't yet, because a lot of people haven't. This is one of the more minor titles in the series, so definitely underplayed, and I guess in that way it's kind of underrated. I think it got mediocre reviews at the time it came out, and I guess if I were combining story and gameplay, yeah, I would give it the same thing, but I think the gameplay is so damn good. It makes up a lot for the stuff that's, you're left wanting as a Final Fantasy fan, at least when you're a fan of the main series games. Very good. Very solid spin-off title. Supposedly the last one that's going to be that way.
Yeah, I mean, on Metacritic, this one has a 71, and then Explorers has a 69, and then World of Final Fantasy. Sorry, I had it and then I lost it. World of Final Fantasy has a 77. So I mean, this one it's supposed to be better, I guess, but I don't know. The only person we know that played it said it was shit. So
yeah,
but
true.
How trustworthy is that, man? Really?
Yeah. I guess we don't do rankings on this one. If we do rankings on this one, I'm sorry, I can't remember, but I would place this one as the highest of the non-connected spin-offs so far. Big fan of this one. Yeah, I think it's better than Mystic Quest or Adventure. So
yeah, definitely. I think it knocks those ones out of the park. Neither of those are bad games. I mean, Mystic Quest is really boring, but this one's just a lot of fun, and it's a surprisingly good game. No one talks about it. Not that many people have played it, it seems. But I was kind of surprised by it. I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this. Gameplay wise, so good experience. I agree. I'd put this above both of those other two.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this week, guys. Next week, we're either going to review Fragments After, or we're going to review, or it's going to be I did a Black Mages ranking for their first album with Lipstick Panel, and I think we might put that out next week. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
I think also you guys might get a little treat in the feed in the next either week or week and a half. regarding one of the things we're about to review. So I hope you guys look forward to that secretly. We do have a Patreon page. Thank you so much to our Patreon donors. It hasn't really dropped off considering we're kind of we're wrapping up the show. So I mean, the show is going to go on for quite a while because of our Patreon donors. So thank you for that. For keeping the show feed up as long as it will be.
Yeah, and thank you for the newest patron, Jeffrey Virgo. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. So thanks for the support, guys. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Throughout this trying time as we wait for Caleb Schweiss to beat For Heroes of Light.
Yeah.
And now we get to wait for me to beat Explorers because we have film festival deadlines at the end of this month. I had fucking so many technical problems over the last month, and then we were getting the sound. I'm sorry, the color was being corrected, so I kept on having to stop what I was doing to review the color corrections. And then there's a one fucking visual effect in the movie that we are still fucking going back and forth on. It's just 2 shots, and it's just fucking it's driving us nuts. And then the score, kept on having to review the score, and it just took. Luckily, I didn't have to play a Final Fantasy game at the same time. I was doing all that stuff. So
yeah.
And I'm still kind of working on that stuff, and it needs to be done before August 26th. So I can't promise that Explorers will be done very quickly. I assume World of Final Fantasy will be done pretty darn quick. And we have plenty of things to talk about, and we're definitely going to be exploring the books and stuff a lot more. We got 3 books to go through, so we'll look forward to those reviews, and hopefully we get some Patreon invites. I don't know how many of those we have left, but we gotta get through a few of those, and just 2 more games, guys. Just 2 more games, and yeah.
Looking at the games, I mean, according to our Messiah, World of Final Fantasy is 35.5 hours, and Explorers is only 21.5. So, who knows?
Yeah, but we're gonna play that together.
Yeah, that's more of a
the
time.
Scheduling of that's gonna be the thing that's gonna be fucking us.
Yeah, it's just tough, and it's tough on us too. I mean, I would like to be, quicker about doing these, but it's just so hard to get the timing for us. But we're trying, and we're still going through 2 more, like we said, and then we'll move into the rest of it as we can with our schedules and stuff. So we'll see.
I almost made the date.
Yeah,
I almost made the date. I paused on Explorers to let you catch up.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably would have if it wasn't for me. And admittedly, you burned through this one, 4 Heroes of Light, but I also took for fucking ever, so
Yeah, a mere. I only did 35 hours.
Yeah, a mere 35.
Of course.
The rest of it was compressed into that 35.
Oh,
time compression.
That was a 74 fucking hour game. I'd say probably closer to a 60-hour game because of the restart thing, the auto battle thing that I was doing with the boss. But it was still a lot of time. It was a lot of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. All right. That's going to be it for this week. You can check us out on Twitter. I'm at Joseph Golier.
I'm at UFF Podcast. If you like this podcast, we have a network of podcasts. Joe and his buddy Drew do the Godzilla podcast. I and one of my buddies do a Game of Thrones podcast called For a Few Chickens More, A Song of Schweiss and Johnson. We have 2 companion podcasts to this show. First, Super Sexy Swingin' Fan Fiction spinoff, and also Nude Clan, a video game podcast where we talk about video games and the lack thereof. Half the time when we don't actually finish the games for that show either. Excuse me. So if you dig us here, check us out there. Lots of great content. If any of those pique your interest. So please go check us out. Follow us on Twitter, facebook.com/Ultimate Final Fantasy. Give us some reviews. I'm tired of looking at the one I'm slightly tired of looking at the one that's at the top. So please give us one of those. It means the world to us.
There you go. We'll see you guys later.
Enjoy the Explorer grind.